crazy. So yeah, we got to talk, y'all. I think it was day 26 yesterday, honey, and it was an ominous, weird day yesterday for the trial. I'm imaraifawuyi. Welcome to the channel. Um, so we have been doing pretty regular updates about what's been going on the floor in the trial space with Sean Diddy Combs. I've been keeping up with it via some of the tweets. Inner City Press has been, he tweets the whole time so that you get to kind of keep up with the dialogue in the trial. And, just going on the different content creators that are reading the transcripts, like Down the Rabbit Hole, Tisa Tales, and that surprise witness. So I've been getting a lot of background on what's been going on. But yeah, y'all, yesterday was real strange. So as you guys know, it has been a crazy week with the jury. For some reason right now, all eyes and everything, the whole focus of everything is on the jury. First, we started off with the judge having to dismiss juror 6 because of some questionable, lack of candor that juror 6 had before they got on the jury about where they lived and whether they were even in the right, residency place, which would be in that Southeast District of New York. And it just turned out that this juror was just too questionable to keep on. So the judge released him, dismissed him. Then boom, that same day or the next day, we're hearing about another juror. We don't know if it's 5 or 7 or what. Another juror that there's something going on with this juror. It's hard to say. I know one after the dismissal of juror 6, it was the next day where juror 5 apparently was like, hey, something happened. Somebody called me and asked me if I was juror 6. So then now you got other jurors getting phone calls, being asked about whether they were the juror that was dismissed. And then there's another problem with another juror, supposedly. So it's all about the juror, and it's like the jury right now. And, of course, Sean Combs and them are behind that. I can't see who else would be just all of a sudden stirring up all this problem with the jury. Yesterday, the whole trial was canceled because the whole trial for the day, and then obviously today is Juneteenth, and then Friday they're only doing a half day. So basically everything is kaput for right now. The prosecution's not even going to be able to rest this case probably this week like they wanted to because of all this stuff. But yesterday, a juror was supposedly on her way and ended up with vertigo and was her or him and wasn't able to come. So because they need to be there every day, the judge had to dismiss before anything even got started yesterday. And so it's just been a lot of energy around this juror thing, and it just makes you wonder. Sean Combs and them got to have something to do with it, because for him right now, he's in a position where he knows he's going to lose. He knows he's going to get convicted. He knows this. You cannot tell me there hasn't been enough proof of all of the wrongdoing that he has been doing. The man knows that he's going to be convicted. So right now he's gunning for anything. He's gunning for, let's flip the table and start all over. Let's get this mistrial. Let's cause enough chaos inside of the middle of this thing and towards the end of it, so that we can go ahead and make the judge call the mistrial. And they have asked for the mistrial about 3 times now. He always has Brian Steele, who is the bad cop, because they do the good cop, bad cop thing in law, and the attorneys are playing that. And Brian Steele has been designated the bad cop. He's the bad attorney. And so they have had him asking repeatedly for this mistrial. Not because he's ever going to win, not because he's ever going to be able to get away from the testimonies that have already been provided. The testimonies aren't going anywhere. The testimonies of Kathy, of Capricorn Clark, all those people, even in the mistrial, those still are going to be valid testimonies. So he knows he will probably never beat this, but he knows he's not going to get bail. He's going to be sitting in jail, but he doesn't want that guilty verdict. He does not want that guilty verdict. Why? Because pretty much that's it for him. Once that guilty verdict comes down, it doesn't mean he's not going to have followers or people who think it's a, injustice or whatever when it happens. But he doesn't want to allow that to come down the pipeline. Sí. Con leche vegetal? So yeah, so you guys know we're here in Brazil. But yeah, so that's what's going on with this guy. He's just playing games. They've always been playing games. The defense did never have nothing. Even now, it's about to go into it's about to go into the defense having their time to shine and bring their witnesses forward. They don't have none. They're talking about their witnesses will probably only take a couple of days and we're going to wrap up. But that's more game. They like to play a lot of games. They lie. His lawyer, Mark Agnefolio, almost everything that come out of his mouth is a lie. They play a lot of mind games, do a lot of gaslighting in court. And the main thing is they said that after the prosecution rests its case, that they expect it's going to take them a couple of days to bring their witnesses forward, which already sounds a mess. Because, I mean, it took the prosecution 5-6 weeks to lay out their case, and you go tell us that you're countering it. Your strength of counter is a couple of days worth of witnesses. He has no allies. Maybe KK will pop out, Christina Coram, and try to testify on his behalf, even though her ass, I can't wait to hear about her trial. But, sorry, I'm drinking a couple of things. I don't know why, but yeah, so Christina Coram might pop out. But other than that, he really doesn't have any allies. And so what they're doing is stalling. They're delaying. It's a good old-fashioned stall method. They're stalling. They want a mistrial. They want to send everything into chaos. They want the jury, if it goes all the way to the end, to be a hung jury. So they're tampering with the jury. They're doing everything they can to prevent that guilty verdict from coming down the pipeline for Sean Combs. And I'm just like, for the life of me, can't understand how people think they can do any and everything to other humans and will never have to actually pay for their behaviors. That just is mind-boggling to me. I do not understand it. I'm like, how do you think that these things that you know are not right, that you know you are doing harm to people? You can't tell me you don't know you're doing harm to people. And you do them and you do them and you do them repeatedly for years and years and years. And then when it's time for you to meet, some kind of a justice around these things, you want to act like you're not supposed to suffer nothing, ever. That's a whole type of cockiness. I can't even. That's some other shit. But these people, these so-called people, they have God complexes. They think they're supposed to be able to do whatever they want. Sean Combs is one of them. Think he's supposed to be able to do whatever he wants out here, and never have to deal with nothing. And saying all that to say that he is one in many. Thanks for the like. Ooh, can you put like on the video, guys? But he's one in many because you get what dropped 2 days ago. Tyler Perry. And the Tyler Perry thing is looking very, very similar to Sean Combs. Not in that he was heavily drugging people and doing all this horrific type stuff, but like doing some really inappropriate stuff. I sat and listened to that surprise witness. Hi, KRM, peace and love. I sat and listened to that surprise witness read some of the transcripts from not the transcripts, but some of the actual lawsuits that was filed against Tyler Perry. As those of you who don't know, one of his former employees, someone that has been working for him, is always people that's supposed to be your employees that you're just acting out of bounds with. And so apparently, and again, all of this is alleged. We don't know what's true. But super handsome white guy that Tyler Perry had met as a server for one of his events. All this guy was doing was serving one of his events. And of course, the dude was real handsome. And so he just became like obsessed over this guy and was like, oh, I'm gonna put you in my shows, my movies. So he put him in a role in the show or the movie Oval, or I think it's a series, maybe a Netflix series. Hey, RM, I hope this opens the door for others to be prosecuted or even just publicly shamed. Baby, me and you, we on the same page. Bring the shame back. I want to see it. I don't care. You have no right to be out here disturbing and damaging other people in this way and think that you are just going to be able to live your life out to the end gloriously, just doing whatever you want. No. you will feel the shame. You're gonna feel the burn of all of these things that you have done, and even I'm not gonna say in a worse way, because my God, when you hear about the accounts of Sean Combs and the lasting effects that he has had on people's lives, unbelievable. Only a devil could be involved and responsible for doing that much harm to people, you know. So, saying all that to say, it's a beautiful time, and now we got Tyler Perry. So basically, when dude got to the show and was working for him instantaneously, it was a whole lot of in the young man's text. Now, mind you, this guy's suing for 260 mil. Of course, when they come up with these numbers, they know they're not getting nothing even close to the numbers that they asked for. But that is what he's asking for, and basically, he basically, as soon as he got over there and started working on the set with Tyler Perry, apparently, according to him, it was just like all this banter, firstly in text, banter. Then it started to, all this like kind of edging around sexuality. It didn't start sexual, but it built up to that very quickly. A lot of drunken texting, saying inappropriate things from Tyler Perry's behalf, on his behalf. A lot of just inappropriate stuff. Then it ended up, oh, come by my house type of thing, and trying to drink with this guy, and the next thing you know, and the guy's like really just trying to play everything cool. Supposedly he's heterosexual, so he doesn't even like dudes. He's trying to play everything cool. He wants to reserve and preserve his job. And next thing you know, Tyler Perry's yanking him up and taking all his clothes off and all this stuff. We don't know if any of this stuff is true. Again, we don't know, especially in this situation, because this guy asking for 260 million, it could be a money grab, because also he stayed and took this shit for, over a year. It was a while that he was staying and dealing with all this crap. And it's like, well, I don't know what straight man is about to stay and be letting no, obviously in the closet gay guy grope them up and do all this stuff to them ongoing for years and years. I don't know about years and years, but at least for a year. All because you wanna roll in a show. And so basically, one of the tactics that Tyler Perry was apparently using and compare this to Sean Combs was that he would be like, oh, well, if you want your character to not get shot and killed this season, then yeah, you'll be good. You'll do things the way I want you to do them, basically. In other words, you'll give in to all of my sexual harassment, and do what I want you to do. I mean, he was just like super hot for this guy. Now, mind you, Tyler Perry isn't even out as no gay man. So this is a huge thing to have this lawsuit come out and basically out him. You know what I mean? Potentially out him. Again, I'm gonna say allegedly. And also accuse him of just being so in poor judgment. And that's what the lawsuit was, just like one stupid thing after the next, a whole trail of text, drunken text. So maybe that's why he didn't catch on to the fact that he had no business doing all of this, because guess what? Texts can be saved, and they can be preserved, they can be given as evidence in the future. So he just was making some really bad choices, very embarrassing. Like, the lawsuit is so embarrassing. Not to mention outing him potentially as being a DL guy, which, I mean, that's nothing new. Everybody, I mean, I think pretty much already had a sense of that, but it wasn't like an outright thing. And then, it just kind of continued to be this ongoing thing with the guy threatening to remove his character from the show, just being, Tyler Perry, doing that, playing a lot of mental games, having his lawyer pop up on the dude's phone and be like, hey, guess what? You got a raise. Don't tell anybody else you work with you got a raise, though. But and guess what else? We're going to actually pilot your because he's a screenwriter, so he had a show he wanted to produce, and so he was being promised all these dreams that Tyler Perry was going to help push his show out and all these things. So really effing with people's minds. It's funny, Diddy has seen the consequences of his actions only after I did a video on it, honey. So putting that loa, honey. The loa, he put the, because I have a background, I know a lot about, not a lot about Haitian voodoo, but I know about African traditional religions. And The Loa he put was Ursuli Dantor. And yes, she is supposedly the protectoress of women and children. The irony of it is that he would be so stupid to think that he would be safe to put something that was so not aligned with who he was, right? If the Tyler on his back, tattoo it on him. Now, I don't know if that's a bona fide real way to tap into those spirits in that way, but you will be surprised. And he has a very, very dark energy, and he did a whole lot of ritual all the time that kind of increased his energy and really took it to another level in terms of the force around him. So that was probably very amplifying for him to also be and fooling with these spirits and tattooing them and doing all this extra shit. So, yeah, he started catching wreck. If the Tyler Perry case is real, so disappointed this man couldn't take I am asexual seriously. I have wanted to learn more about her since yeah, it was a ritual to get a tattoo for sure. Everything with Sean Combs was ritualistic. I feel like we hear about these F-offs and these hotel nights and the Wild King nights and all the ways he was rebranding these freaky ritual situations. But the man was obsessed with doing this sexual, not even tantric, but like sex magic, basically, more along the lines of like satanic sex magic, because they were really into that in the Church of Satan, right? And so he was so wrapped up in that. I'm like, dude, when did you have time to help produce music, to get people signed, to have people come through and listen to demos? Like, when was their work happening? Y'all was just completely focused on out here using people's energy, being a vampire, sucking up people's energy inside of the sexual acts. Super bizarre. But yeah, and then the Tyler Perry thing, honey. We gonna see. I mean, that's just embarrassing. Like, I can show that shit. The Tyler Perry thing is so embarrassing. Like, Diddy, we expect any old raunchy, nasty thing to come out with him. I think we always have. Not always have, but I never really was into Dude. I didn't like Dude. And it's not like I'm a huge Tyler Perry fan, but he was more respectable. For this to drop like this is so humiliating. But I don't know. We'll see. This is absolute chaos magic, too much like Aleister Crowley, exactly KRM. It is very chaos, and that is what chaos magic does, is it generates chaotic things, and if you're lucky, something will catch, that'll be good, but it's going to be a lot of chaos surrounding it. The Tyler thing was unexpected surrounding all the other names. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't that unexpected because Chris, what's his name? Christopher Keys. Remember that? So he did come out, and then everybody's saying that he got silenced very quickly. It looks like Tyler Perry probably paid him off to shut him up, which, I would shut up if he paid me good. It's not about shit, whatever. So he shut him up real quick. So it wasn't surprising to me. And I know that Tyler Perry doesn't have his woman no more, the Ethiopian woman that he was using, probably, now that we see everything as a beard. But, so he doesn't have, he's apparently a single man. So he can have crushes and he can date who he wants, he can do what he wants. But you can't be violating people, you can't be harassing people in the workplace that you the big boss over when they have no nothing. They have no recourse. They can't go to HR because you the big boss. You the CEO. Who the hell's going to HR about the CEO? So it's just like, oh my God. And just trying to manipulate and control people so much. I take the money and I wonder if you can do it like that. But you got to think, the talking is very controversial. You get mixed messages. You probably getting death threats and everything else if you're doing too much talking. So in a lot of ways, it's better to just take that money and just quiet down. But, I like the idea of talking and stuff, but realistically, for all the suffering and the being out in the public that you have to do, it might not be worth it for everybody, you know what I mean, to even have their truth be out there so much. But he got his out. Christopher Keys did. He did his little interviews. He did not name Tyler Perry, but Tyler Perry, and that was it. He, instead of him doing a lawsuit directly, he just put it out there and hinted. And he probably got his money right quick. Bop, bop, bop. The NDAs, the NDAs are the NDAs really just don't work. They don't cover, illegal activities. So that's the thing with them. People think the NDAs, these disclosure, that they are protect the person who wants the NDA signed from anything, but no. If it's illegal, if it's drug distribution, like Sean Combs, ex-trafficking, prostitution, if it's, kidnapping, arson, all of these illegal activities, all these RICO activities, that NDA ain't about to cover for them, because you're not supposed to be doing them no matter what, NDA or not. So that's the thing. They are, yeah, like you said, they're not legally buying a bunch of bullshit. Like they are constantly manipulating people. But yeah, I mean, we can't forget shit. Sean Combs got about what, 60, 70 lawsuits, like civil suits out on him too. So the stuff we're hearing about in court is like a drop of what this guy's been doing. And as you said, it often isn't worth the extra fight after someone has already sucked. Thank you. I mean, we're talking about some serious vampires. Y'all, I don't know if you have seen the lawsuit and the text, all the text proof that the guy, I forget his name, submitted in this lawsuit against Tyler Perry. Oh my God. Tyler Perry looks so childish, silly, so manipulative. It has him looking so bad. Like you can just tell he's just a needy dude, just needy in the closet. If any of it's true, he's needy, he's in the closet and got no, like, I'm like, how do you get to be so rich and powerful and ain't even got no self-worth? Because if you're going to sit here and tell me that just because you found this Caucasian guy to be attractive, that you're going to throw it all and throw everything away just to try to have a moment with him that he clearly did not want to have with you, this is all according to what we know so far. That he didn't want to have that moment with you. He didn't feel you in that way. I also watched BJ's video last night. He's being such an F-boy. Girl, you were on, oh my God, F-boy. Manipulate, just wanting to try to get in this dude's, oh God, I don't even want to think about it. Like, no. But no, we're not doing this. Like, he looks so bad. That was so horrific. So, couldn't even flirt. Grown men, that's what I'm saying. You can be gay. Everybody, you are fine being yourself. Do you. Okay? Nobody's tripping off of that, but it's the way he was going about it. And, like, just can't even flirt right. Like, embarrassing, like super awkward. And then just saying stupid things. You could tell he would just be drunk on substances and just playing himself. And the dude sitting back like, And supposedly he's hetero, so he ain't even drawn to all of this, supposedly. And then the funniest part, Karen, was when he sent the young man a picture. Remember when he was in the Bahamas? He had been out in the Bahamas, or he was out in the Caribbean somewhere. Tyler Perry wasn't sent a picture of him when I think Woody had a jet ski, and he was just there trying to look cute in the water. And the dude was like, "Oh yeah, the water looks calm. The water looks calm." And Tyler Perry, you could tell, got so mad. Oh, fuck you. Oh, what did he say? He was like, "Oh, jerk, asshole." I'm like, what are we dealing with here? These are grown businessmen. This is a grown-ass businessman, billionaire business. Like, who are these people that they choose to give all of this power to? So funny. This was so funny. I'm like, yo, the humiliation in this thing is outrageous. And the funniest part was the guy was like, he was like, Tyler Perry said, "Oh, you don't see the stud in the picture?" And the guy was like, "Oh yeah, that is a stud. That's a serious stud." Like, he got all perky, all fake and shit. I'm like, dude, just no more. No more of this. No more embarrassment for these brothers out here just playing themselves so bad. But to me, the text strings that we were seeing of him just sounding crazy, sounding desperate. The most interesting ones were at the end when all he had around him was like Christina Coram and some of his staff, and then he had Jane Doe was still trying to be up under him, and he was texting Jane Doe, "I need you. Oh, I need your friendship." This is after he had whooped her ass, right? "I need you. I need your friendship. Oh my God, they're coming for me." All of a sudden he's Mr. He wants to be nice. He wants to have her in his life and everything. Why? Because he knew he was about to get his ass ate up. He was about to be going down. It made me like that guy immediately. I wish Jane and Diddy Child gave a little bit of that. Oh man. Jane, Jane had her own little way and her own fights. But honey, it was a similar energy at the end, with Sean Cole begging for her energy. These people are weak, like they're vampires. They cannot survive without other people's energy. You know what I'm saying? They suck it up any way they can get it sexually. They can't get it that way. Any way they can get it, they have to. That's what they said about Sean Combs. Never alone. You'll never see this person alone, sitting around deep in thought, doing any introspection. These people can't be by themselves. I'm trying to tell you, they cannot be by themselves. KRM, will you help me test out this little microphone? Let me see if this works so I can sit back a little. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to let me know if you can hear me. Because I don't be knowing. Let me know if you can hear me. I can set this up. Can you hear me or does it sound weird? And then I'll talk about your next comment. Does it sound pretty clear? You hear the Brazilian music in the background? Hey, can you hear me? Because if not, I'm going to take it out. It sounds like I'm in a fishbowl. Okay, I'm going to undo this. All right, can you hear me? Can you hear me again now, just regular? Forget it, I give up. Boy, you can't buy no electronics here in Brazil, honey. Them electronics be so poor. I'm like, I got to order something from the States because this is just craziness. Can you hear me now? Okay, great. So, oh my God, it's getting so crowded in here. But yeah, so that's it. The vampiras, they're doing too much. I'm like, that's that LA energy. I'm from California, and that's that LA energy. Like anyone who goes through there and wants to be around that Hollywood vibration and all that stuff, they just end up just like energy suckers, just energy vampires. It's real gross. And this is how they amass their power. People think, oh, Sean Combs, he must have been a really hard worker. Look at how much success he had. Now, he did a lot of ritual and used people and sucked up their energy. That's what he did. Girl, I feel it's either hella expensive or it's a potato. Exactly. These days, that's what it's like. But at least something like this, I could have ordered on Amazon in the States and it would have come and it would have been working. Like, yo, these are brand new, like, can't even use them. But I'm grateful. Mostly everything else about here is spectacular. But yeah, so that's it. What else is going on? So we had the jurors, the whole jury tampering weirdness that's apparently going on with this Sean Combs thing. You cannot tell me all of a sudden the jury is just gonna fall apart. 6 weeks in, everything is wrong with this juror, that juror. The way that Sean Combs' team fought to keep juror 6 was so suspect to me. I'm like, oh my God, what did y'all have going? What did you do? Did you plant this person? That LA energy is so true, which is wild considering his hate for us on the West Coast. He's just okay, you Cali? Hey. Listen, so-called hate, but then when he moved out there following and harassing his baby mama and then turned that place out and turned it into his evil den of F-offs and wild king nights and all the nasty shit he had going on, honey. Just that, but that's that LA energy. That's why I had to leave California a long time ago. I couldn't really stick in there with all that vibration. But I used to live, the last place I lived, I grew up kind of between LA and Santa Barbara County, but I was living in the Bay the last time I lived in California, and the Bay is different, more down to earth, but also crazy in its own way, right? And way too buck for me. But yeah, that was the last place I lived in Cali. But yeah, saying all that to say is that we about to see the further unveiling. We about to hear, and they coming after these black guys, okay? They coming for the bruhs. So it's like, y'all better get on point. Y'all better get on point. If you're gonna be out here doing dirt, you're not gonna get the same grace that your white male counterparts will get for all the dirt that they've been doing forever. You know what I'm saying? Throughout time. Okay, so yeah, they better wake up. They think they can get away with all this shit. I'm like, it's not looking so hot for you guys. You remember the stuff that happened in the trial where yes, he always tampers with the jury, and that's what we know about him. There will never be a proper trial with this dude because he don't play by rules. He don't play by rules. He's not playing by nobody's rules. So it's like, it's unfortunate because I knew eventually that this was going to start taking place because there's no way. Sean Combs is not playing by nobody's rules. He doesn't think rules apply to him. You know what I mean? And so you guys are silly little dog. But yeah, he doesn't think rules apply to him, so he ain't about to pay attention to none. That's why he be up in the court carrying on, shaking his head, doing all that extra shit. And the judge checked him one good time. They say he stopped for the day and went back to it. And then every time they tried, the judge is still continuing to threaten to kick him out of the courtroom and checking him about it. And he's got his lying ass attorneys next to him. Oh, he's not doing anything, Your Honor. If he was doing something, I would know. I'm sitting right next to him. Fake. These people are trying to create a reality in the minds of everyone around them that doesn't exist. These people are gaslighters. They're all narcs. Everybody on his team has to be a narc. It ain't no way in the world I could defend or work with or sit here and lie, bold-faced lie to so many people the way that his 10-pack of attorneys is doing. So you know what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a whole legion of demons that are out here trying to defend him, trying to defend this guy and get him off. A legion, and they're all demons. I don't care. The black ones, the white ones, I don't care. You can't tell me it's normal to want to defend such horror. Been a while since I've lived in Cali myself. My boyfriend's still in Compton. Oh, I have like a soul deep. I know I was around in the 90s, around when Pac was moving around. I used to be I went to school in San Diego, but I would be around Cal State Long Beach a lot. So it was all this LBC, and, throwing up the West Side and the ganj and being at events where everybody just smoked out. That was like the heyday. That shit was so fun back in the 90s. And then I moved to New York area. I left. I got tired of the Cali scene, and I moved to New York, and my life ended up being mostly like on the East Coast from that point on, and then abroad, a lot of international. But yeah, his lawyers are, I don't respect them. Everybody be trying to glorify them when they come walking down the street doing the little videos like, hey guys, yeah. I'm like, why are y'all hyping these people up so bad? Do you understand like what they represent? Like what they're cool with? The fact that they've been coming on and like victim shaming and blaming and being so horrible to the victims that are, testifying against Sean Combs, like just no morality whatsoever. It's been horrible. It's giving Robert Kardashian joining OJ's defense as his best friend. Oh God, I didn't even realize they were best friends. We won't even get into the Kardashians. That's a whole nother thing. I'm like, oh my God. I'm glad you watched your on BJ's though, because what else they've got? A lot of information. That's the other thing that's been coming out this week is Robin Greenhill. They haven't mentioned Lou Taylor, but Robin Greenhill from TriStar Sports and Entertainment Group keeps coming up in this trial. Like all of a sudden, it seems like, especially Brian Steele has been trying to focus on Robin Greenhill as if the entity of TriStar is the one that's been doing all of the dirty deeds, the African, the prostitution, all of the things. Why? Because they have been the business managers for Sean Combs' enterprise. Business managers as well as accountants and what have you. So they're the ones that's cutting the checks. I don't know how he's going to be able to push off responsibility on them, but baby, it looks like he is trying. I don't know how Agnifilio sleeps at night trying to defend Luigi and, oh my God. Well, these people don't have any they have no morality. I mean, they like money, that's it. They don't care. They don't lose sleep. When you are like a psychopath, or I don't know if they're psychopaths, but when you don't have a moral, like in America, I notice it's like people don't really, it's a lot of people, they don't have, it's like they weren't trained, like they were raised by animals or something. They don't even have any like moral compass barely. It's very strange. And so they don't care as long as they're getting paid. And they feel like they'll talk themselves out. They're very delusional, I think. They'll talk themselves into it. Like, I'm being paid, I'm going to do my job. And that's it. They don't care if they have to lie, play hardball, do anything, tear other people down, tear victims down to tears, break them down on the stand, accusing them of lying about shit that happened to them. These people don't got no morality, nothing about them. It's terrifying. It's the ones that have empathy and values and have to leave the practice like BJ did. Well, yeah, but that's rare. Most of them are going to go for they want the high profile cases. They want the big money, like with Sean Combs' team. They said, honey, I was hearing somebody who's in the courtroom talking about how Sean Combs' team be gallivanting around there just as happy as larks. Ain't nobody tripping. I heard nobody's really tripping off of this. They said even Sean Combs' family, boy, they the happiest people in the world. Like nobody's tripping and up in arms or sad about this. I think the people that are attending the trial are more stressed, and the jury are more stressed about this shit than the people that it's really impacting, like his family, the lawyers, the team. They said Sean Combs' legal team just happy skylarky. But they're making a lot of money, and they know this dude is probably gonna go to mistrial. They're gonna keep working for him. He ain't gonna win. So they don't care. They just getting money. His son's out there posting Thank you. Thank you. Who, what, where? Who are these people? Who are these people? Kim, your sister is going to jail. Stop taking pictures. Oh, which sister? Kim who? Kardashian? Yeah, the Kardashians, I'll be looking forward to the day that we get to see them get caught up in all of their misfit, all the terrible stuff that I know they're involved in underneath the scenes. Which Kim you talking about, Carrie? Oh, Chloe, I didn't even know Chloe had went to jail. I know Chloe is up in some lawsuit as of recent, though, or she's up in something. No, this is something BJ was talking about. Chloe's in the mix with something she had no business in. These people are criminals too. All of these people with all this money, and you be like, damn, how'd you get $1 billion? All of these people, they are all criminals. I'm telling you, they are Africans. They affect things. They move things from place to place that they have no business dealing with. Like, these are really bad people, these Hollywood people. I'm telling you. And it's just interesting. I'm just so blessed because, I'm a creative myself, so it's like when I was living in the LA area, when I lived in LA last, I was in grad school for Chinese medicine, and I was dancing a lot at the time, you know what I'm saying? So I would be out on the scene dancing at all the live music venues, like hitting it. And so I would have people sweating me sometimes when I would be out. And that's what they do in LA. They kind of like gather around you out at events and creative events, especially if they like the energy you're putting off or what you're doing. And they just kind of gather around you and just be trying to suck up your energy, but also like entourage you. It's real weird out there. And this is how they like scout and find people and stuff too, right? And so I used to get real creeped out in LA. Like I never was real comfortable there, even though I had kind of grew up there as a child some. But when I went back as an adult and was there and just participating in some of the shit, it's busy in here. Some of the creative scene, it just rubbed me wrong. Like I remember that was the first time I came to Brazil. I left. I dipped on grad school and everything. I was like, I'm out. These people are weird. Okay. And I got the hell out, and I never lived in LA again after that. But I came to Brazil, moved to Salvador, and was hitting it, dancing in them streets. Robert Kardashian was the last person seen with OJ's bag from his car the night of the... Then it went missing and robbed during the fence. It's all been wrong since day one. Yeah, it takes a certain type of person to be there. You said to be... Yeah, oh boy. I'm going to have to get ready to move because there's a lot going on around me. But yeah, let me just show y'all. This is like this banging, wonderful coffee shop. But it's a holiday here in Brazil as well. So like everybody and their mama is in here this morning. So I'm like, let me give them their table back because they are going off in here. But yeah, so it does take a certain type of person. Hola. Posso pagar? Okay, let me see if I can pay my bill and get to walking. Isn't it beautiful? I wish I could show you the inside of this place for real. This is how Brazil does things. They like a lot of beauty. They like a lot of plant life. They're very good with aesthetics here. So you always catch a vibe when you're out. It's just, I live in São Paulo. It is cream of the crop. Wonderful city. Vou pagar. Olá. Quando pode? Posso pagar? Sim. Tá bom, obrigada. I got people like even, and also you guys, just so you know, I do consultations, and I have some materials and things to help people if they're looking to move abroad. So Sao Paulo is the biggest city in the Americas. There's no city bigger than Sao Paulo in the Americas. In the region, just in the central city, we have about, I think about 12,000 or 10 to 12,000, 12 million. And then on the outskirts of the city, surrounding the city, is like an additional 10. There's like 22 million people in this city. Gigantic city, but you would never really know it because it is just so cool. It's peaceful, but fun. It's like there's nothing you can't get here. There's nothing you can't get into. It's fun. Always something going on. Excellent shopping. Excellent organics. Like if you're into organic food, and having good places to shop and get things, and having access to all of the health related things and stuff that you would want. Sao Paulo just has everything on lock like that. We just have everything here. It's wonderful, and it's a great place to be based, so that you can travel around Brazil, because the international airport is here. You can get from point to point very easily from Sao Paulo, and Brazil is just an amazing country. But yeah, I got off topic and lost some people, but yeah. Wow, so even with the larger city than LA, it's just way different culture society. Like, yeah, it's Brazil. It's just a whole different energy. They just do things different. It's a very family-oriented country. They're very family people, very traditional. So they have their traditional culture that kind of weaves through everything. And just, they like nice things. You see this space I'm in, they like nice things. They're nice people. This is the business hub of the country. So a lot of business takes place through here, and commerce and stuff, but it's still so wonderful because you get all the arts. We have a huge scene. You'll see if you look at some of my shorts. We have a huge graph and arts and museum and arts and culture scene here. So everywhere you go is just the most beautiful muraling and art everywhere on the walls, and oh my God, and it's always indigenous people or Africanized people or just something beautiful like that, because again, we're in this country that has a ton of brown people that look like me and a ton of indigenous people, because obviously the Amazon is here, the bulk of the bulk of the Amazon rainforest is here. Just everything is here in Brazil, you know what I mean? So they represent. So yeah, Sao Paulo, if anyone is interested in finding somewhere else to be, because damn, America is getting weirder and weirder by the day, this is a good selection. I've even got people who are coming to visit me in about a week and a half, and then I've got other people who are looking to move out here. I'm starting to just try to set up and create resources for people so that they can be prepared for everything and all the changes they'll go through if they do move here. But you don't skip a beat here, really. You pretty much get everything that you're used to. Here in Brazil, it's not no huge culture shock where it's in what people like to call, which I don't even like to use this term, but third world. It's not like that at all, So yeah, this is so good to hear you're in a place where you can be more respected and seen as a human being. North America is so scary these days. It's so weird. I did a quick video yesterday because I had heard about, I don't think I understood it all the way, but now I understand it better, but about the travel bans that Trump is doing, trying to make it hard for people, really foreign nationals, to be able to go back and forth to where they're from, especially if they're from Africa or the Caribbean. All the bans, all the grabbing people up and trying to ship them places, and the threats of doing that, and it's just what is happening? So yeah, I do feel seen and respected here. I'm very well treated. The service is really good here. Service is not good everywhere, but overall, what I really like about Brazil is that they respect humanity here more. So yes, you do have places like Rio de Janeiro where, yeah, you'll get robbed and the shit be going down. It'd be dangerous and violent. But most of this country is peaceable. People like good things. They like to have a good time. They like to be with their family and their friends. And they respect humanity. So you feel respected here. My boyfriend, chosen sis, is Peruvian, Guatemalan, and trying to decide where to go. Well, yeah, send her in my way, if anything. Yeah, I'm going to put my links below if anyone wants to come down this far. And for those people who are Like for me, I like to do ayahuasca sometimes, so I do plant medicines, and I love that here in Brazil I can get plant medicines very easily if I want to, or find places where I can go and have, experiences and rituals with people around the medicines. Um, yeah, absolutely, Karim. Thank you. I'm trying to get it and really, really showcase where I'm at better and really provide more content around that. It's just I kind of got caught up with this Diddy thing because I also like to talk about narcissism on this channel and narc abuse and kind of give a psycho-spiritual back understanding around those things. So that's kind of how I got pulled into this Sean Combs thing. And you came and you vibed it out right away when you came in the chat today, because yep, it's about the spiritual stuff that's moving around these things, not just the physical and what we can see on the surface. So yeah, so we talk about that over here too. But yep, this is a scatterbrain ass channel, okay? We scattered over here, but we're doing it. We're gonna keep it pushing. If anyone needs any info on, anything that I've just talked about, hit me up. And that's it. Let me show you the hood a little bit. So this is my neighborhood. I live in an area called Pinheiros. It's a very, it's kind of like, middle class neighborhood. Real chill, lots of just amazing shopping here. A lot of greenery, and parks and things like that. But yeah, lots of great, just, places to go, bars and places where out here they like to, at the bars, they always have live music at them. So there'll be like a whole long ass strip of just bars next to each other, and everybody's got live samba bands and live bands playing, and it's just always activity. You know what I mean? You never really have to feel bored. I've always wanted to do that. Just scared. I've never tried psychedelics before. I have severe CPTSD. Oh yeah, as well do I. So I know it could help, but it will be a journey. Ah, you're so sweet. Thank you for coming through here, KRM. I have CPTSD as well, and I talk about that on here a lot, especially when we were discussing the different victims of Sean Combs that were coming up, because they were just showing CPTSD symptoms like so heavily, and Stockholm syndrome, and I just could not understand why people weren't seeing this. But yeah, thank you. I really enjoyed you. That's it, y'all. Yeah, the medicines are very helpful. If you're ever interested in doing plant medicines or coming out here to do that kind of thing, you can connect with me there too on that, and we can make some events happen. There's definitely lots of resources for being able to come and have a spiritual, experience with the plant medicines. It's not like no Sean Combs weirdness. It's real shamanically guided. Plant medicine ciphers where you can, go in and connect with your ancestors, whatever it is you want to do. I was just thinking about that. I need to check out all of your videos. Yeah, we rough over here, but we got some good information. I need to talk about the plant medicines more, like ayahuasca I haven't done in a while, but the last time I did it, I was living in Bahia up north, in Itacaré area, a couple years back. But I had a really dark journey. Dark because there was different reasons why it was kind of a heavy one. Usually they're pretty light and sweet for me, but it ended up being serious. And like you said, and same thing with me. I had a lot of childhood trauma, and then have been through different levels of narc abuse and stuff as an adult. So definitely dealing with the CPTSD, and got it under control in a lot of ways. But the ayahuasca, this last journey I had, was a heavy one, but it pulled me through. Like the healing that I had done from it has been incredible. And so I'm very, very, very just grateful for plant medicines. They've helped me a lot to see myself when I wasn't able to that much. I would say I probably was like borderline or something like that. When you talk about some of the the different personality disorders, I would probably have fallen on borderline back before my last ayahuasca journey. And something just happened after that. I just grew the F up. I grew the F up. I was still dealing with, even into my 40s levels of just the CPTSD, how it ends up making you a codependent a lot of times, and potentially even exhibit signs of personality disorders. You'd be on the spectrum with that. Yeah, I had a lot of self-work to do, but it can get really gritty and ugly. I'll tell you that. It was not pleasant. I felt like I was in purgatory during that journey. but I pushed through, and I was able to integrate it afterwards, and I've done a lot of healing since. So, it's something to think about. No zombie, yeah, we ain't doing no zombification. So we not doing none of that. That's the kind of stuff Diddy and them is into. We ain't doing none of that over here. You're very resilient. I'm happy to hear you're pulling through this journey. So much in this world is hard, and if you're not facing all this self-hate and doubt, I had a lot of it. I had a lot going on that was bleeding into how I parented, and had to really, really grow the hell up. And it was hard. It was hard to see myself, and then also, knowing, because I have really, really nice children, like really good kids, and they had to deal with me at like half mast for a good portion of their lives, just because of depression and all of the different things. Still just trying to process and work through all the childhood stuff that I hadn't resolved. Not having parents and all of this kind of stuff. And so, so it ended up. Hey, D Joseph. Well, we not on topic no more, honey. Earlier in the video we were, but now me and KRM are just chatting it up. But yeah, so I had to, turn to just natural healing and stuff like that to help kind of pull me out of things. But I still had a lot more work to do, even getting up in age. And the plant medicines have been some of the things that helped me kind of tip the scale and kind of get to where, okay, now I'm fully feel like I'm inside of my body and functional and mature as a woman now, instead of someone who's just operating on fear and flight and fight and fawn and all of the things that we do when we're, when it's just like stress hormones popping off all the time, when you just stuck in flight and fight. You stuck there. Oh, yeah, Karen, you're on point. I'm definitely in similar wavelength. I did have to reparent. I was a foster kid, and I had a lot of family around me as a child, and was trafficked myself and went through all kinds of shit. So it was like, it was really hard, trying to be a parent. I just kind of fell into parenting, and ended up very blessed with 2 children that just want to stick by my side and are very supportive, and have always been very supportive and patient with me. They had a lot of patience, but I just had them up and down everywhere, honey. They didn't have no stability. We would just be traveling. We'd be off somewhere in some country, and it was cute. It looked kind of cute on the surface, but we'd be going through things. I was running from things, so a lot of the traveling that I used to do was very much like I was a runner. I wasn't one to face things, trying to get away from this, trying to get away from that. So now we don't move like that no more. We move with a different spirit now. But it hasn't been that long. It has not been that long. You have a really unique perspective on the Diddy stuff. So much empathy is missing in the commentary. I agree. Yeah, I never got into the just sitting here reading the transcripts and the facts, because there's just so many people doing all of that. And my spin is, what's happening underneath the surface there, and the fact that, people just keep talking about his sexual appetite, but it's like, it's beyond that. This wasn't just appetite. This is literally how this dude was amassing his power. This is why all you hear about is him several times a week engaging in these. How do you have time to go on drug binges and engage in these weird ass sexual parties for days at a time every single week? This is what he was doing. Yeah, he had his team working on different things for him, but if he was this mastermind businessman that everybody was trying to act like he was, you know what I mean? And as I was saying, people don't understand how powerful the dark rituals and stuff can be. Yeah, you can amass a lot of power with it. Because what he did is he just got his little money and probably just pushed a lot of it into getting all the best priests to work on things for him and to do rituals and things for him. He learned how to do stuff himself. He learned how to steal people's energy and siphon energy through these sexual rituals. And it was just like, that's what he was doing, and everything else was just magically coming together because he was staying in it with that ritual. I know about this stuff. That's why I'm like, yeah, y'all have no idea when you have money how much you can do inside of it. But it's still not the way. It's still gonna come back on your ass eventually. No one is highlighting how everything he did screamed, "I do not respect women." The girls were paid like, I noticed that too, and I have been talking about it because I'm like, it's very interesting to me how, have you noticed KRM and y'all that when he had male assistants, former assistants, and people come on to testify against him because they were subpoenaed to and were offered immunity, none of the men wanted to be there. None of the men even felt away. They didn't feel away about the fact that he was whooping Cassie's ass up and down the damn block half the time. They didn't feel away about what they know was happening with the UGG running and the prostitution and the setting up the Wild King parties. None of the men really even felt away about it. They were fine. He wasn't treating them like garbage on his shoe. He was treating them with somewhat respect. When they were ready to move on and not work for him no more, he released them. It was nothing. He didn't care. Now, mind you, this is a DL man, so he likes men. This is what he likes. You know what I mean? He don't respect the women at all, but then got his mama up under him everywhere he goes all the time, acting like he's a mama's boy. Don't got not a drop of respect for the feminine energy. Not a drop. It's like, what? How do y'all move around like this when you come through a woman? It's just like, I don't understand it. It's really a mental health crisis. It's a spiritual crisis on the planet is what it is. We are in a major, major crisis. Everybody's flipped on their heads. They don't even know the thing that they should be focused on, which is the uplifting of women and children. That's the thing that makes societies be great. Not this other shit. I don't know. Everything is just upside down. So, yeah, I'm glad you brought up that point, honey, because I done been talking about it. I'm like, it's so interesting to me. All of the male workers, he paid them better. These women that was scraping around for him, digging in the damn dirt for him, burying bodies for him, all these assistants, Mia, fucking Capricorn Clark making 50K, 60K, that might have been somewhat okay back in them days, but then you hear about the male assistants, he's paying them 90K, 80, livable, like actually livable wages for New York City, because a lot of this stuff was centered in New York before he did the LA jump. D-Rock better be shit. A cult. That's why you see I've been having some of my videos are labeled the Sean Combs cult. That's all that was. Just a straight up cult of misogyny. D-Rock better be facing some charges. I hope so. Well, D-Rock is an interesting character in all of this. One, because you heard about how much he was manipulating Mia and trying to get Mia to come on board and to quiet her, make sure she stayed quiet when things started hitting the fan. And so, the way he was doing it was like so snake-like, and he's supposed to be tied to potentially having sold Diddy out. I mean, not Diddy, but Biggie. He was Biggie's boy. So supposedly he sold Biggie out, and after Biggie died, I hate to do all this. I don't like the chatty Cathy thing. But anyway, this is a guy who beats women down too. That's why he could stay there and be so complicit and okay and trying to, she good. Yeah, you knocked her in the head a few times, but she good. She don't even really have a black eye like that. This is how he would talk about Cassie after she got her ass whooped. Like so nonchalant, didn't give a damn. And so this dude, I'm definitely hoping he gets hit. To me, the three that I want to see catch it the most are the ones that, are the ones that are left standing. That's KK, that's D-Rock, and that's Sean Combs. I hope they all get everything they deserve. That's what I want to see. Mia was owed 80K overtime for 3 months, but only made 50. Yeah, she wasn't making no money. She was owed so much overtime. She had to sue to get it. I was glad, even though she was kind of weak and precious and fragile, she went ahead and sued and got her little money. That was good, even though she deserved a lot more for what she was going through. 50K that year, like what the, right. I mean, it was back, like Mia and them, that was back. So 50K back then was considered, I guess, somewhat okay, but not for New York City. 50K ain't never really been considered good for New York City. So he was just exploiting the hell out of women. He just sees women just like as tools for whatever he wants to exploit. He don't even give them livable wages. He enslaved them, sexually enslaved them, just everything. But then the really weird thing is nobody's understanding why the KK girl could just be so comfortable sitting up in the mix, watching him do all his dirty deeds, supporting him on everything. Like, what was she getting? I mean, I guess and he actually showed respect to her, and it just makes you wonder, like, what was she getting? Was she the secret lover? Like, what was up with this chick that he brought and folded into his stuff on such an intimate level? Biggie's royalties and the unpaid wages that these people are paying for his lawyers. A lot of stuff. Because he said, you know, you got to think he has all these collaborations and he works with all and gets backing from all these other bigger corporations, even in the music industry. So remember, a lot of his money was coming from, you know, Interscope, from this, from that. So he had all this money coming that was supposed to be paid and going towards stuff like Cassie's 10 album deal. That he didn't, you know, what did he end up doing with that money? And that's why this RICO is a RICO, because instead of him actually recording albums for Cassie, where did all the money that you know he had gotten, the backing, where's all that money that was supposed to go to her? This is why she was able to sue and get what she got. He didn't devote that money to her. Instead, he enslaved her and made her go out there and satisfy his sick desires and all of his weird ass ritualistic stuff, and just had her out on some like ex-trafficked, you know, just hoe and pimp stuff. You know what I mean? But where was the money that was supposed to be supporting her career? Because y'all the ones that said she was so great that she deserved 10 albums, which is unheard of. So like, what happened with that money? What happened? This is why, you know, all of these little monies that he be coming in, he just uses on all this illegal shit. KK got to be one of those pick-me girls like Young Miami. I think so. I mean, I would say, yeah. I would say probably, she probably thinks she's going to be the last one standing if because she hasn't flipped. So it looks like she's going to be going to trial or something, unless she's just a straight handler. But, you know, maybe she was just placed there. She might be a plant. But KK's ass thinks she's going to be the last one standing. I guess till death do we part type of thing. You know, everybody else flipped on him, turned on him, you know, trying to distance themselves from him, and she's still there and ain't saying a word. She's not testifying against him. She ain't doing nothing. I'm like, well, we'll see how that goes for her. I mean, we see Giselle, but we really don't see, because we don't know. All these people could be handlers. They might work for the government. We don't know who they might work for higher up, multi-billionaire people that's just got them in place to, you know, handle these people. We know all of these people have handlers. So KK is very mysterious and strange to me. I don't know where she came from. Don't nobody know where she came from or why she was getting so much respect. And when this man don't even respect his own mama, now that this white woman is getting so much respect in his world. It wasn't a racial thing. He was treating everybody around him, white, Latino, black, like Asian, like the dirt of the earth if they were women, like scum. So, you know, now why was this one? What was it about her? Outside of the fact that she probably barely ever had any kind of, you know, she probably never said no about anything. She supported him in everything. The ultimate submissive woman, right? Yeah, I can't wait to find out either. Hey, y'all, can y'all drop likes on the video? Thank you for coming through. We just here. You missed, I was in my beautiful little coffee shop yet again. This is where I'm always at in the morning, filming. I'm about to hit it back to the house here pretty soon to work. We have covered a range of topics on this video, but check it out. Check out the beginning when we were talking about Sean Combs and them, the Sean Combs hot mess. And yeah, I'm about to hit it. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. My God, it's late. Have a wonderful Juneteenth if you celebrate that. I never did. I don't think I ever was living in the States by the time they implemented that, so I really don't have a lot of background of celebrating it or know what it's about that much. But yeah, for all of y'all that's indigenous, you know, my ancestors, from what I understand, are indigenous to the U.S., so I don't you know, relate to some of the things that they be talking about in African American culture, but I definitely, you know, respect everything, and, you know, hope everyone enjoys their day if they are celebrating. Oh, KRM, we won't, don't get me started, because then I won't end up leaving. Honey, that relationship with that mama is just nasty. I mean, they said obviously she's some kind of madam. She was supposed to be some kind of nasty type of work, you know, woman when he was growing up, because if you hear from some of the people that used to be around him when he was a kid who have relayed stories about just how wide open that house was, and how just all kinds of nasty stuff would be cracking off in his family house, in the house his mother had for him, and just, so he saw a lot. He was very traumatized as a child. You could see that. But yeah, have a great day. Bye, y'all. Thank you. Oh, and check my links if you want any consultation on anything in particularly around traveling or coming to Brazil or anything like that, I got you. And check out my shorts too, because I got some cute shorts. Bye. Thank you, KRM. Thank you, KRM. I don't know if you can hear me because I pressed the button. Thank you so much. I enjoyed talking to you. I hope to see you again here or on BJ's channel. Bye.